long before humanity understood the sky, before history learned how to write itself. The earth was already being watched, not by kings, not by gods known to men, but by forces that existed beyond the stars. Beneath the sands of ancient Egypt, hidden from time and memory, an ancient presence waited. Sealed within stone and darkness, the first Pharaoh slept. He was not preserved for death. He was preserved for return. When the moment came, the silence beneath the desert broke. Stone cracked, dust fell, and the tomb opened. The Pharaoh rose, not as a man reborn, but as something chosen. As he awakened, the world responded. The ground beneath him trembled, as if recognizing an authority long forgotten. The air grew heavy. The sky shifted. From above, from beyond the limits of the earth, power descended. Light poured down like a command, wrapping the Pharaoh in energy older than civilization itself. This power was not learned. It was not stolen. It was not earned through conquest. It was given. In that moment, a ruler was not created. A guardian was awakened. The Pharaoh stood, transformed by the force that had chosen him, his presence bending the space around him. Far above the earth, something noticed. Across the vast emptiness of space, signals were detected. Energy, unlike anything humanity could create, had returned to the planet, and it did not go unnoticed. From the darkness between worlds, ancient observers turned their attention toward Earth. What had once been dormant was now active. What had once been protected was now exposed. In distant regions of space, massive structures began to move. Fleets prepared, weapons charged, trajectories were calculated. The decision was made. Earth was no longer insignificant. As the Pharaoh lifted his gaze toward the sky, he felt it. A pressure, a presence, a warning carried through the stars. Something was coming, not as a visitor, but as an invasion. The warning was real. Beyond the atmosphere, far above the fragile world of men, the sky began to change. Stars vanished, space bent, and silence was replaced by movement. From the darkness between worlds, vast fleets emerged. Massive structures of metal and light descended toward Earth, casting shadows larger than cities. They did not come to explore. They did not come to speak. They came to claim. As the alien armadas entered the sky, the balance of the world collapsed. The air burned. The horizon darkened. The ground shook beneath an unfamiliar weight. Across the land, humanity watched in fear. Ancient cities, young civilizations, entire worlds of human life stood powerless beneath the approaching force. Weapons were raised, defenses were activated, and they failed. Human technology shattered against alien shields. Missiles vanished before reaching their targets. Resistance collapsed in seconds. For the first time, humanity understood its place in the universe. Small, fragile, unprotected, the invaders advanced without hesitation. Beams of energy struck the surface, scanning, measuring, marking targets. Their purpose was clear. Earth was not to be destroyed. It was to be taken. Life was to be controlled. Resistance was to be erased. As chaos spread across the land, panic followed. The sky became an enemy. The heavens no longer offered protection. Yet beneath the terror, something else stirred. Deep within the ancient sands of Egypt, power answered the threat. The Pharaoh felt it. The invasion echoed through him like a distant drumbeat, resonating with the force that had awakened him. He understood. This was not a coincidence. This was not fate. This was a challenge. As alien forces moved closer, as humanity faced extinction, the Pharaoh stepped forward, not as a ruler of men, but as their shield. Divine energy surged through his body once more, responding to the presence of the invaders. The earth beneath his feet hardened. The air around him ignited. He turned toward the sky, toward the descending fleets. For the first time, the invaders felt resistance. Sensors faltered, energy readings spiked. Something ancient was standing in their way. The Pharaoh did not speak. He did not threaten. He prepared, because this world was not defenseless. And the invasion had just made its first mistake. The moment resistance appeared, the invasion changed. What had begun as conquest became war. Across the sky, alien fleets adjusted their formations. Weapons recalibrated, power levels increased. They no longer saw Earth as weak. They saw a threat. The Pharaoh stood alone beneath the burning sky, facing forces that had erased entire worlds, and he did not retreat. As the first wave descended, the battle began. Energy tore through the desert, turning sand into glass and air into fire. Alien weapons struck with overwhelming force, carving scars into the land. But the Pharaoh advanced. Each step he took shattered the ground beneath him. Each movement released ancient power, older than the invaders themselves. Divine energy surged outward, colliding with alien technology. Light met steel. Ancient force met cosmic design. The sky became a battlefield. Alien craft fell from the heavens, their shields collapsing under pressure they could not measure. Yet the invaders did not stop. More ships arrived. More weapons were unleashed. The desert became a war zone. The horizon burned without end. Humanity could only watch. This was not their war to fight. This was a battle between powers, far beyond human strength. As the conflict escalated, the Pharaoh released more of his true power. Symbols ignited across his armor. The air bent around his presence. The heavens responded. Lightning split the sky. Shockwaves rippled across the land. Alien forces faltered. Their calculations failed. Their weapons overheated. Their advantage disappeared. For the first time, the invaders felt fear. They had faced civilizations. They had conquered planets. But they had never faced a guardian. The Pharaoh moved like a living force of judgment. He tore through formations. He shattered command structures. He burned paths through the sky itself. As the war reached its peak, the invaders unleashed everything they had left. Massive weapons activated. Energy surged toward Earth, with the power to erase all life. In response, the Pharaoh gathered his strength. Ancient power flowed through him. Drawn from the land, the sky, and forces beyond time, the desert fell silent. Then the sky exploded. A single surge of divine force collided with the invasion. Alien weapons disintegrated. Ships tore apart. Portals destabilized. The invasion collapsed. The war was decided as smoke filled the sky and wreckage fell from the heavens. Silence returned. Humanity had survived, but the battle had revealed the truth. Earth was no longer hidden, and the universe would remember what had stood in its defense. When the war finally ended, the sky fell silent. The fire faded, the dust settled, and the echoes of battle vanished into the distance. Earth remained. Humanity remained. The invaders were gone, their power shattered, their presence erased from the heavens. Across the land, life slowly returned. The desert breathed again. The wind carried no fear. The sky no longer burned. What had survived was not strength, but protection. The Pharaoh stood alone beneath the open sky. No crowd surrounded him. No voices called his name. He did not seek glory. He did not claim victory because he had not risen for power. He had risen because the world needed a guardian. What rested upon his shoulders was not a crown, but a burden. The burden of vigilance. He understood what humanity could not yet see. The universe does not end with one battle. It does not forget resistance. It does not forgive defiance. Beyond the stars, other forces were watching. They would remember this world. They would remember the power that stood against them. They would remember the guardian. And so the Pharaoh remained, not as a ruler of men, but as a shield standing between worlds. He watched the horizon in silence, feeling the slow movement of the heavens above. The ancient power within him did not fade. It withdrew, it rested, it waited, hidden from time, awake beneath the sky, ready when the stars move again. Because as long as humanity exists, the darkness will return, and when it does, the guardian will rise once more, not for conquest, not for dominion, but to stand alone between humanity and the infinite darkness beyond. He did not seek glory, and he did not demand remembrance. He remained, not as a king, but as a silent guardian, watching the stars, listening to the sky, because when the universe moves again and darkness returns, he will rise, and this world will not stand alone.